Keys balling back with another video. So, all right, guys, I thought I would speak on this David and Celeste situation. Everybody's talking about it. David, a famous singer, which, by the way, he's got songs that has gotten millions of views, and I haven't heard of this guy until now. I just thought that was pretty strange, but nonetheless, he is a popular singer, I guess, amongst younger folks, but he has, a lot of clout, a lot of music that's got numbers, and things got pretty weird when this young lady was found deceased in the trunk of his Tesla. And not only was she just deceased, she was already decomposing pretty badly, the report said. And, there's just a lot of elements to this story that's just surprising, disturbing, and pretty much every other word that you could think of. Now, this situation really flipped on its head when his Tesla got towed to a tow yard. And that's when the people at the tow yard started smelling the body. And then they got the police involved. And then that's when the whole investigation has begun. And it's going on until now. And it'll probably be going on for several more weeks. But first, I just want to say it's sad what happened to this young lady, this little girl. This shouldn't happen to nobody. You can't be, losing your life this young and think that that's normal and think that that's okay. Everybody knows that that is tragic and it shouldn't have happened. But when you look at this situation, David, why the hell are you dealing with a girl 12, 13, 14 years old? And you sitting up there, you 17, 18, 19, 20, and it's just out of bounds, man. It's way out of bounds, and just for that alone, something should happen to this guy, whether it be, you get locked up for a small amount of time or, you see some type of punishment. But with this whole situation, I do want us to pump the brakes. I do want us to acknowledge facts over opinions in this situation. Because right now, what I'm seeing is a lot of public opinion trying to sway the narrative, trying to piece together the story. And it's just something that we can't do if we want to be accurate and we want to be on point with the truth here. You have to let this thing play out. You have to let officers, LAPD, FBI, whoever's job it is, you have to allow them to put this whole thing together because y'all on the internet swaying these narrative, doing all this, y'all ain't really helping nothing, bro. Y'all are sitting up there trying to solve cases from your cell phone and your Wi-Fi. It's just not gonna cut it. And so what I think people need to do is just relax. I know this case is intriguing. There's a lot of elements in this. And right now, the only thing that he's guilty of right now that we know factually is dating a minor. And he should have never been doing nothing like that. So I feel you if you hate him, but don't go and say he unalived nobody. And the police ain't even saying that. That's all I want to say. I just want to be that reasoning voice to come out and say, whoa, guys, let's just allow the police to say that they believed he unalived this young lady before we get to saying it and saying everything points to him. Yeah, it may be that way. And that could be your opinion. That's no problem. But I don't want y'all jumping on this internet saying he did it. That wouldn't be accurate because you don't know. And I realize that like a lot of people are uncomfortable with not knowing something. They have to have some kind of theory or belief and they just ride with it. They roll with it all the way to the end. They'll tell themselves it so much that they just become sure that it's true. And it never was true from the beginning. They just made that up in their brain and rolled with it. Now, let me ask you guys something. If this thing, this investigation comes to a close and it turns out David is not responsible for the unaliving of Celeste, what are you guys going to say then? Are you guys going to keep going and trying to further the narrative? Oh, the police don't know what they're doing. They're lying. It's a cover up. Because I know a lot of you will do that. Or will you come around and say, damn, I was wrong. I shouldn't have jumped to any conclusions before I knew all the facts. So I'm just alerting people, calm down. This is an intriguing case. There's nothing wrong with looking for updates and trying to figure out what's going on. I understand it, but just pump the brakes. Now, another thing that's been bothering me in this case, as far as the news and certain YouTubers and TikTokers, man, y'all gotta stop capping, bro. You guys are sitting up here making videos every day, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos in one day about this case saying update. You putting the word update in the title. David and Celeste update. And it never be an update. It be some stuff you found on Reddit that you read. It be some stuff you done seen on X, on Twitter, from a normal human being who has no ties to the case at all. They don't know David. They don't know Celeste. They just a normal human being living in Maine or something, way out in North Dakota or something, and you putting their stuff in your video like it's fact. I have an issue with that. Be real. That's not an update. You better put on there a possible theory or something like that, or say you just speculating, but don't call it an update. An update comes from an official source, whether it be the LAPD, the police, whether it be the FBI, whether it be David speaking, his manager, somebody close to him, Celeste's family. That would be an update. You guys and this update crap that y'all doing, this is just nonsense. Stop the cap. Okay, like I said, I understand we want answers, but at the same time, investigations take a while. This is not Law and Order. This is not CSI Miami. This is not some television series. This is not going to take, season 1, episode 1, the crime happens in season 1, episode 2, the police has already closed the investigation. No, it doesn't happen that fast. This type of stuff takes weeks. And I think the main thing that we waiting on here is we want to see the exact cause of death by Celeste. We have to see what was the exact cause of death. And to me, and now this is my opinion, I think they're struggling to figure that out due to the fact that she was in the trunk for a while. She was put there by somebody, and she was pretty badly decomposed. So it's hard to know, did she OD? Did somebody strangle her? It's hard to know these things because all of the evidence that they would use is not really showing up on the body due to decomposition, due to her being into a hot trunk that could have also affected some of the evidence that they would have gathered. So it's just a lot going on. And I know they're trying to do their best, but this could be a situation where we don't find no answers. And if they end up telling us that, then okay, maybe you guys can run with y'all theories if we don't end up finding no answers and nobody ever gets arrested for this. But until then, pump the brakes and just wait it out. This is going to be a long investigation. Obviously, it's alarming. It's shocking when you see a young girl like Celeste deceased that early in her life, and it's alarming. And the public definitely wants to know what the hell happened here. And I don't blame you. We all want to know. But the thing that we shouldn't do is just get ahead of ourselves and call people guilty. Now, you can say that in private and you can tell your homies and all that, hey, this is what I think happened. That's fine. Ain't nobody talking about that. I'm talking about you people going on the internet telling the world he did this because of this fact that I found on the internet. That's not right. I don't believe people should be doing that. Okay? Y'all understand where I'm coming from? And I don't want nobody on this video saying that I'm defending him. I'm not defending him. I already said this man should be locked up for dating a minor. If he did anything sexual with this minor, hey, that's even worse. But all I'm saying at the end of the day is I think we get a little bit too eager for stuff to start happening and we start looking for stuff ourselves. We looking for answers ourselves and then we get to making stuff up. And that just throws off all the information and that leads people down a bad path because now You got certain people who don't research for themselves, who do follow internet that they run across on their information. Now they're following misinformation and they're spreading it. So now you just got a boatload of misinformation everywhere. And now you got David looking bad if he possibly didn't do it. And then Celeste is not getting her justice because you sitting up here lying on other people, thinking you know everything when you in the basement on your cell phone on Wi-Fi trying to solve cases. So that's all I got to say on this situation. I will be back with some more updates in this case. Real updates, by the way, not none of that fluke stuff y'all up here doing. But I will be following this case, seeing what's going on, man. It's just an unfortunate situation. And I would say for us as viewers of this situation, just try to learn from it, man. Try to, take better care of your kids. You got a problem child that might run away a lot, try to figure out ways where you can keep that child in the home. You can kind of relate to that child better, get them to trust you, and y'all can kind of work together and figure things out and seek help from other sources as well. You grown men, y'all got to start hanging around these little girls, man. But I don't need to even be telling y'all that. That's something y'all should know. But want to get you guys' thoughts and opinions on this, man. What do you guys think about this David and Celeste situation? Y'all let me know, man. Y'all hit that like. Y'all subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all you guys for checking out the videos, man. And hey, I'm up out of here. Peace.